An 8-month-old baby was accidentally given alcohol during a nasal wash at a health clinic in the interior of São Paulo. What is happening in Brazil? Guys, what is happening? I'm going to read the article I received here. My God, man, seriously, let's go, like, share, subscribe, let's listen to the article. But I'll say this right away, okay? I'm not sure how this ends since I just got the article and only read the title. I'll read it for the first time with you. Let's begin. During a routine checkup in Dois Corregos, São Paulo baby receives alcohol by mistake instead of saline solution during a nasal wash. Despite the scare, the child is fine. What a relief. City Hall is investigating and the staff member was suspended for emotional distress. There's more to read here. The alcohol in the hospital, it's kept in an almatolia. Okay, an almatolia 100 ml. In some places there's a bigger bottle. But saline solution, it's either in ampules or in small bottles. There's no saline solution in a bottle like alcohol, and there's no alcohol in a bottle like the solutions. Mistakes can happen when we're not paying attention, when something looks very similar. Did you get confused? Did you not read it there? It was your mistake, but they look similar. Still, the bottles are unrelated, right? A bottle of alcohol, regardless of the manufacturer's brand, is very different from the types of saline solution bottles. So, it's a mistake from not paying enough attention and reading, but let's move on. According to the police report filed by the mother, she had taken her daughter for a routine vaccination, but since the child was sick, the nurses did not authorize the immunization. Very good during the appointment. During the appointment, the team suggested performing a nasal wash, a procedure that the mother agreed to, and per Dois Corregos City Hall. The procedure was performed by a nurse using saline solution according to the protocol and done correctly in 2 applications. On the 3rd application, a dental health assistant who was near the room offered to help the nurse fill the syringe. Without checking the label, the contents of a homotolia were used improperly, containing alcohol instead of saline solution. So, before we think that everything is the nursing staff's responsibility, you see, it wasn't the nursing staff, it was the nurse who continued the application, but the one who prepared it was an attendant, a dental health assistant. Guys, be careful with the help. I know people want to help, but you have to be careful with that. Look at the problem it caused. According to the police report, the child choked and it was necessary to perform a maneuver to get them breathing again. Then the child stopped. It seems confusing, but it makes sense since the alcohol washed through and exited. Maneuver to breathe, then the child stopped. Good. According to the Dois Corregos City Hall, the team acted immediately by performing new washes with saline solution. So the child didn't stop. If they applied alcohol and then did the wash, then the child wasn't stopped. So there's no maneuver to get back to breathing. You see, the article is poorly written or they only got half the facts, right? The unit doctor gave emergency care before sending the mother and daughter to the Santa Casa hospital. Now let's find out what happened to the baby there. The baby underwent another nasal wash, a stomach wash, had a gastric lavage in this case, and a pediatric evaluation, and was discharged on the same day. In a statement, the Dois Corregos City Hall reported that the case is still being investigated administratively and that all appropriate measures have been taken. The staff member provided a medical certificate and is still on leave. The civil police confirmed that a police report for bodily injury was filed and that measures are being taken to identify those responsible. The child's medical records were also requested to check for any injuries. Guys, look, the nurse got in trouble for no reason just for performing a gastric lavage and accepting help. I'm telling you, sometimes it's better to be alone because things can happen, or even someone you trust to help you, I'm telling you. That's because we as nurses have some procedures that we just can't do alone. We need people to help and people from our team. Now, if someone who's not from my team comes to help me, how are they going to be able to help me? If they haven't had the instructions, for example, I'm going to do an indwelling or intermittent urinary catheterization. I need a technician, a nursing assistant to help now. And if I'm alone, which is possible to do alone, it's just a bit more work. In fact, there's a video about it here on the channel. And if an oral health assistant arrives, if a plaster technician, orthopedic immobilization technician arrives, if a radiology technician arrives, if someone who works in the clinical analysis laboratory arrives, do you agree that these people are not qualified to help me because they haven't had any training or explanation about this? And it seems like a simple thing, right? It was just filling the syringe. And look, just filling the syringe, which is a very easy thing. Anyone in the healthcare field theoretically is qualified to do this and to use alcohol. That's the point, you see, the nurse. Unfortunately, she ends up being held responsible because she's the one doing the procedure and she accepts the help. Be careful, pay attention. We don't know the time or day it will happen, what could happen. It's a problem for us. That's why you should protect yourself from anything you're doing there. So be careful with the people who want to help you or who are helping you. Analyze who's on your team. So all of this is important. So really, I feel sorry for the nurse, honestly. Even so, man, she got herself into trouble because this is still going to cause her a lot of problems. Because here's the thing. She filed a police report, there was bodily injury, and I don't know what else. Then the police get involved, and there's all that delay. Anyway, even though in my opinion the alcohol wasn't that harmful to the child, but think about it, an 8-month-old baby. The mother didn't go there for that or anything else. With good intentions, wanting to do the best for the child, let's clear the boy's nose. And then on the third rinse, something like this happens. Because of some help that showed up there, maybe that help wasn't even asked for, but it came. And oh, I want to help you. And look at the big problem. So, really, I feel sorry, but for everyone who made it this far in the video, let's be more careful too. Alright guys, with the people who come to help us, sometimes it's better for you to say no. Maybe you don't want to say no because it's someone you know, a colleague of yours, but they're from another area. Like, imagine, I'll try to give an example here. Imagine that you became really good friends with the security guard. The guy, maybe he's just doing his job and says, man, I think I can help, maybe I can't, maybe something like that. His help might get in the way or something could happen. I'm just giving an example here, it has nothing to do with it, but it's just so you understand really, man. I felt sorry for the nurse in this case because she got into trouble for nothing, like it wasn't even her fault, but she was the one doing the procedure there.